Hello all, and welcome to Night Rips. So when I was growing up, while every once in a while I would get the wax packs that I would open, uh, something we're going to open today is more how I got the majority of my collection. So what this is actually known as a rack pack, and it was a way to get a lot of cards at once. So if your mom told you you could only get one thing, it was easier to get one pack like this than one little 15 card wax pack. Granted, these did cost more, not tremendously though. So it was a more economical way. Now the thing about these is these didn't come with gum. This one right here is actually a 1988 Topps. A 1988 Topps wax pack still came with gum. So we're going to go ahead and break into this. One thing that you used to do when you'd go to the store is that you'd go, one of the advantages you have is that right on the front, you could actually see, okay, I've got a John McNamara card. So if I cared about collecting managers, there you go. There's the All-Star 1987 All-Star American League manager, or Pat Sheridan, or Dave McGadden. I could also look on the back, at least with Topps, and see the card. So you're almost given a sneak peek of what you want to get. So if there's a specific player that you wanted, you would look to see if his card was on the front or the back. Obviously, I didn't pick this out. This is a little harder to get today, so I can't be as selective. But let's go ahead and open these up and see if we can find any, All-Stars or Hall of Famers. Because, much like any cards from the late 80s to mid 90s, these cards are really not worth as much unless you get one in pristine condition. And when it came to Topps, really you needed the Tiffany edition, which was a limited edition set. So we'll go through. I'm going to show you the front and the back, and then we'll just see who we got. And of course, you can just tell from the color here that this probably sat, got a lot of exposure to sunlight, so it's a little bit faded. You don't have that problem when you're talking about the wax packs. So we got Dave McCadden, or McAdin, and it's a real similar Topps look, right? You got your basic stats, you got how he played over the years, and a little bit of information about him. So that's Dave Magadan. We got Ken Phelps. Oh, that's a good card right here. There's Nolan Ryan. Definitely an all-star. So I'm gonna put him to the side. We got Dave Dravecky, Rob Ducey. Again, no pictures on the back, so standard Topps. Ron Robinson, Frank Viola, Paul Nosey, Felix Furman, Bob Boone, Albert Hall, Bob Stanley, Tommy Hinzo, and Jeff Russell, which we saw he was on the back. One thing I will point out, in this case, these actually corners look really pretty sharp. Centering's a little bit off, but again, these were so mass produced. It's hard to not, because they would print them in full sheets of cardboard, and then they'd cut, and the cutters were not always the greatest. I actually have some 1987 Topps, and you can tell the cutters were off so bad that the card, the bottom ended here, and then you saw the top of the next card. So it's really absolutely worthless, but so are most of these cards. So let's go ahead and open up the second little area. And you always had to, when they got picked through, sometimes the corners got all messed up. But back then, you didn't look for the corners as much as you do today. Okay, so here's our Pat Sheridan, which we knew. Jesse Orozco. Rick Aguilera. Bob James. And everything's been pretty standard Topps baseball poses. Steve Shields. I mean, nothing too out of the ordinary. You really didn't start seeing that until later years. Jay Bell. Pat Pasillo. Every once in a while you get an action shot, but it's definitely not to the Stadium Club level. Joe Price. Dennis Boyd. Mark Sullivan. Oh, there's Billy Bean. I've met Billy Bean. He's pretty cool. I'll put him to the side. Jimmy Jones. Bruce Bochy. There's Tony La Russa, current manager of the White Sox. He was a manager in '88, so you can tell how long he's been doing it. And John Mitchell, which again we saw him on the back. And the last little pocket here. Of course, we have our All-Star shiny card. A little bit shiny card. Shinier than the rest of the card. This was a 22 All-Star player insert that only came in the rack packs. You'd get one card, and you'd have to buy 22 rack packs. And the good news is they would a lot of times would put them on the front, so you could actually pick and choose and find, so you wouldn't have to luck of the draw. But it still required you to buy 22 of those packs. I think those packs at the time, they might have cost like $1.50, maybe $2. I forget. It's been a long time. But to get back to the other cards, and there was 42 of these base cards, and then there was this one shiny card that was the All-Star. So you got 43 cards, which is almost 3 packs, minus the gum too. So getting back to the cards, we have Bobby Valentine, Argenis Salazar, Thad Bosley, Glenn Davis, Mike Morgan. There's a All-Star, Harold Baines, Chuck Krim, Chet Lemon, Dale's Femme, another Hall of Fame All-Star, Ryan Sandberg, Juan Berenger, Willie Frazier, Ed Lynch, and last but not least, Ellis Burks with a Topps All-Star rookie logo. So, just wanted to see, yep, 87 was his first year. So, again, these were very heavy mass produced, very, very Topps. My favorite set was 2 years prior to this, the 86 set, at least for Topps, until they, started getting into Stadium Club, a number of years later. But all in all, it's a neat little piece of history. Really pulled only a couple cards. Obviously, anytime you pull a Nolan Ryan, you can't complain. I wish he was a little bit more centered, but it's just par for course back in those days. And then pull out this Billy Bean, and for those that, while he was an okay player, the big thing that you have to look to Billy Bean for is all you have to do is watch the movie Moneyball, and you understand why Billy Beane was so crucial to the sport of baseball. All right, well, that's the 1988 Rack Pack. Again, it's very standard set. I mean, it's kind of can't be mad at a classic like this. Again, these cards are really not worth much of anything. It's really for nostalgia reasons only. But you know, if you get a chance to pick one of these up cheap, you know, go ahead and do a rip. They're actually fun to look at. You know, just another piece of our childhood history. So obviously, I'm going to be opening more. You know, I'm gonna find me some more rack packs. These are fun to look at. Again, you get a lot of cards at once. You don't have to keep opening wrappers. But it is a fun little thing, a little take back to my childhood. So if you like this type of thing, go ahead and hit that bell, hit that subscribe. You'll see the next time I upload videos, which is going to be on pretty common basis. And if you have any feedback, you know, go ahead and put it down in the comments below. Yeah, I'd love to know. You know, did you open these type of packs growing up or later? Would you rather be opening up the foil or wax packs than this type of stuff? Let me know. So until next time, see ya.